I'm just going to get on the brakes here, see how they feel. Oh yeah, so much better.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of John's Motorcycle Rescue and Review. Once again, I'm with Suzuki's 1982 GS750E, and I am super excited because yesterday evening I have just installed a brand new set of Spiegler steel braided brake lines for this bike. What I'm hoping, man, I think this is going to transform this bike. The more I work on this bike, the more I like it. It's just a fantastic handling bike, very comfortable. And I think these brakes are just going to really bring that safety, that performance up quite a bit. So already, man, my braking feel through the lever it seems to be really improved. Very much less lever travel. And this bike is a little bit complicated because it has the anti-dive, so it was a little bit more involved to install these lines, but really wasn't too bad and probably only took me about 2 hours to do the whole job. So it's a pretty straightforward job. You want to be very methodical when you do it and have experienced bleeding brakes. Man, once you make that upgrade to the bike, it just transforms the way this bike will handle and brake, and it just gives you a much higher confidence level and safety level out on the road. So I have not ridden it yet, so it's a good opportunity. I'll get suited up here and we'll go for a test drive, see how this thing brakes, how the braking system has been improved here. Let's ride.
I'm currently riding Suzuki's 1982 GS750E, and I have just done some upgrades to it. I have just installed the Spiegler brake lines, and so I am really excited to see how that affects the braking performance. Believe it or not, I don't get paid by Spiegler to advertise their product, but it's just a product that I really, really believe in. And I've got these brake lines on almost all my vintage bikes, and it's just really gives me the confidence to ride them in a sporting fashion and really enjoy the performance envelope that the bikes themselves provide. It's about 54 degrees right now. It's a little bit cold out. This is an air-cooled bike, so I'm letting it warm up to temperature some here. I'm just going to get on the brakes here, see how they feel. Oh yeah, so much better. This bike really does ride and handle nice. And now with the addition of the brake lines, the steel braided brake lines, I've got braking performance that is up to the task. One of the things that I may do is go in and adjust my air pressure a little bit in the front forks, because what I'm noticing is when I do get on the brakes, I have a significant amount of dive, and ultimately that may only be solved if I go ahead and put like progressive suspension springs in the front. But it will definitely, if I do that, it will make it much firmer on the ride, and it'll give me better control under braking. But I may lose some of the plushness of this suspension that I currently enjoy. One of the things on this bike that it's an interesting thing, they've actually gone away from it on newer bikes, but this had an anti-dive system, and actually when you apply the brakes, some of that pressure goes to activating the anti-dive valve in the suspension, and so the brakes on anti-dive equipped bikes sometimes they're just not as crisp. There's my random carburation issue. It's so weird, it runs so nice sometimes, and then other times it seems to foul out a little bit. If I get back off the throttle and on the throttle, it clears right up, which is just bizarre. But back to the anti-dive, one of the things with the anti-dive is you're going to have a little bit more lever travel, and to me it actually sacrifices a degree of braking control. So, you know, I think that's why you saw more modern bikes, once they got past the 80s, they generally don't have a similar system on the anti-dive system. Yeah, braking feel is so much nicer now. And we'll see, I'm gonna use these brakes and make sure that they're fully gotten up to temperature and kind of bedded into the rotors. But I may go with newer brake pads as well. I think that is definitely going to help the bike even more with the braking, make it a little bit more crisp.
All right, I am back from riding the 82 GS750E, and man, I'm just kind of mixed emotions here. I still have some drivability issues. However, I am super stoked with the steel braided brake lines. They just make such a difference in the way that this bike stops, and just the confidence I have riding it. I may eventually upgrade the brake pads. I think these brake pads they may have gotten fork oil. I know one of the forks was leaking on it pretty significantly, and it may have gotten fork oil on one of my brake pads. I may upgrade the pads and put some more performance-oriented pads on the bike here in the future. But right now, I think my next step is going to be synchronizing the carbs. In thinking about it, I kind of have a theory, and I think one of my carburetors is just out of sync enough that maybe at certain RPM it's fouling a plug. And, you know, that's what's causing my drivability issues, because, you know, it's frustrating. It does run very nicely and pulls very cleanly sometimes. And then other times if I shift it around 4,500 RPM, it seems like the next gear I hit, it's gonna bog out in that gear. So you know, it might be running a little bit on the lean side in the mid-range. That could be, it may need to be richened up in the mid-range, or like I say, it could be one of the carburetors is just out of sync enough that I'm maybe mildly fouling a plug at that RPM range, and then you know, it doesn't want to pull when I hit the next gear. You know, these kind of problems, and thinking through them and trying to figure things out. Yeah, that's part of the game. If you're doing the vintage bikes, it's super frustrating at times, and then when you finally get it right and you have that aha moment, and suddenly a bike goes from being annoying because it has a problem to just being wonderful to ride. That's really what makes this worth it. It's that reward you get for your effort and all of your problem solving, and sometimes, you know, money spent. Sometimes you just have to throw some money at it, but that's vintage bikes for you, and it's part of, I wouldn't say part of the fun. I don't really like spending the money on them, but it's just part of the process, and something that you should know before tackling a vintage project. I know a lot of people, man, they get into this and, you know, they hit that frustration point and they quit. And so many bikes end up languishing, you know, with the carburetors off or half done, where they ran into money issues or, you know, a problem that they couldn't fix and then didn't want to take it to the shop. And, you know, that's not what I want. You know, I want people, when they buy a bike, it's better to count the cost before you buy and understand what is going to be involved, and that therefore when you buy it and those things do happen, you realize, oh, okay, this is a point where I have to persevere. I have to push through this if I want a nice product in the end. Because really, it doesn't do anybody any good, and it doesn't do the sport any good, and it doesn't do the vintage bikes any good to be sitting, you know, half apart in somebody's garage and languishing for years, where, you know, parts go missing and all that stuff. So, you know, this channel is really dedicated to bringing these old bikes back to life and enjoying them. You know, getting them to the point where they are enjoyable and not frustrating to ride. And you can. That is, you know, people think old bikes are just nothing but frustration.
and that is not the case. So I've got a lot of bikes in the garage, projects that are finished, that I'm really glad that I spent that time, that extra time, to get them running like they should. And so, you know, I know in the end that that'll be the case for this bike. You know, I've been chasing this issue since the day that I've bought it. Sometimes it seems to run great, and other times it does not. You know, I'm still not sure what the issue is, but we'll keep plugging away and we'll get it right. All right, I hope you found this video entertaining and informative, and until next time, enjoy the ride.